told you I was coming back today. We're testing out something new. I got a little headset going. Hopefully, there won't be any underlying buzz. Youth camp is always a blast. Hey, we've got some cool stuff coming up with our youth group. We got a youth convention coming up. I'm just going to let this stuff play in the background, cut it down a little bit. No particular song on the brain today necessarily. Hey, look, my DJ Marty D Shadowcaster 2024 t-shirt. You can get those yourself right on the Spotify.com. Look up DJ Marty D and you will find it there. There's some featured products. I want to talk today about It's a Great Day. It's a great day to be alive. No, I'm not talking about that Travis Tritt song. I don't own the rights, and it's not always talking about good stuff necessarily. But I think one day I did decide to grow me a Fu Manchu. Now it's connected with these little handle things. I'll probably shave those off again sometime. Is that too loud? I think it's too loud. Or is there somebody outside? Somebody's out in the church parking lot setting up like a grill and stuff for the. We've got two churches that meet on the property. It looks like they're having a little social gathering. Hey, sometimes days don't start right. Now, not me in particular today, but it is something I thought about speaking on because not every day ends up starting right. Sometimes we have to hit the reset button. I want to give you a couple thoughts today and not necessarily go somewhere in scripture, but I want to think about this. You don't have to wait until the next day to hit the reset button. You don't have to wait until the next day to hit the reset button. You can stop what you're doing if it starts to get ruined and stop and say, Lord, I need your help on this. I need your help on this. Yes, it's later in the day than I usually record, but it's not because things went bad today for me per se. I missed the lunch, but that was kind of intentional. I didn't really get breakfast. I had a banana. I had my coffee today. I had it in this big 32-ounce mug. Doctor said get down to 1 cup a day. So now, today was good for me. My alarm went off. I was able to get up and get going and felt decent. Grab me a shower. I didn't grab me a shower and do anything with it. I didn't really take a shower either. The shower's still where it is. I didn't take it anywhere. Y'all know what I mean. We speak funny things sometimes. Got in the shower. Had a good, get muscles going. Get the hot water to help. When you hit a certain age, you'll do that too. But just overall total good day for me. Found out later when I got to the office, I got a text from my wife. She said, hey, can you find my glasses for me? She put on contacts this morning, but it was more because she had to than she necessarily wanted to, because somehow her glasses got misplaced in her morning routine. Long story short, her day started off kind of wonky. Right? And she got to work, like normal, but had to wear contacts that she wasn't planning. She has the daily wears. She wasn't planning on wearing them today, I guess. And her day kind of started off bumpy when I had sent her a message showing her where, I found her glasses, and she goes, "Oh, I must have left them there last night." And I want us to stop and think about that. I'm not picking on her or anything like that. I'm using it as an illustration. Sometimes we think, okay, our day is a little bit messed up. Sometimes it is because of things we did before today. You ever get really, really tired and you don't necessarily finish out your normal routine that you would for the day? That's what happened last night. She took off her glasses to do something, and was tired enough to just not grab them and put them where she normally puts them. We all do that, right? I mean, I don't know how many times I have looked for keys and could not find keys. And when I ended up finding them, I had probably looked right in that area 2 or 3 or 4 times. but it was something about where I put them wasn't my normal place to put them. Sometimes we do things like that. Um, there's a wisdom that I learned at one point that your thing you're looking for, it's right where you left it. You know where I found it? I found it in the last place that I looked. Um, but sometimes we need the help of someone else. We need somebody else to help us get whatever is missing found. So our day, though, can be reset by that good news, right? Sometimes our day gets reset by the good news. Somebody who helped us find something like today. Of course, my wife is always, to me, somebody who expresses gratitude, okay? I know all of us could work on that. I can work on that. I'm sure you can work on that. I'm sure my wife could work on that. But my point is, we're all human beings, and it's a good thing to express gratitude. But I'm going to tell you something. When we get good news, and then we give thanks for it, our day does get better. Sometimes resetting the day, if we're not having a good day, much less a great day, it's all about our attitude. I was talking to somebody recently about hiring and firing and all that kind of stuff. There are things that I experienced back in the day when I was the branch manager of a pretty decent sized bank in a very large top 10 city in the United States, and it was a high pressure job. Had the responsibility of hiring folks, and I had the responsibility of letting people go. And one thing I agree, we were having this discussion with someone else, and they were saying, a bad attitude is one of the only things that you can't really work with. You cannot teach the will. You cannot teach the attitude. You can teach skill. Now, sometimes there's talent, which presents itself as more skill than maybe somebody else. What you've always heard, maybe you haven't always heard, but in training circles they say you can teach the skill, but you cannot teach the will. You can't make somebody want to. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can take a Christian to the Word, but can't make them think. That should be in a song. Maybe it will be. Time out. Look at the cool thing on the side of my head. See, that's the Astrodome. There's a patch just like it up there on that sleeve. Bing, bing. This one has the brown bronze. Matches my cross on my shirt. And that's an Altuve replica jersey of a throwback to there. Now, the back of that one says Murray, and the number on it is 21. Because my wife married Marty Murray in 2021. That's her jersey. That's her throwback jersey. She got married in 21. Is the music too loud? I'll have to go back and look. I don't know. I can kind of hear it through these headphones. I don't really know how good of a production this is. So I was talking about being able to have the good attitude, right? Good attitudes are choices. Oftentimes we can choose to stay just in a grump, a down attitude. You can literally let things stack up, and they will break you down. And when they break you down, you will feel bad. And when you feel bad, you got to stop and you got to start to say, all right, I've got to look at the positives. I was saying, when you get good news, a lot of times it changes the trajectory of your day. Your day might be like down here, and it starts going up. It starts trending upward because, you can look on the little graph. It was okay, then bad news. Then it was bad news, and then all of a sudden you had good news, and pew, your day goes straight up. You feel better. It's a better overall confidence, you might say, a better overall success rate for the rest of the day, because you get a win. Sometimes you just need to have more wins. And if you get more wins, you get momentum. And if you get momentum, you keep going. But a lot of times that happens because you heard good news. Now, here's where I'm going to tie it in. How many of you know Put it in the comments. Let me know in the comments. How many of you know? How many? One word for good news. It's one of my pop quizzes. It's not hard to answer though. See, the good news is called the gospel. The gospel of Jesus Christ. This gospel of the kingdom shall be preached. And then the Son of Man shall return. Matthew 24. The good news of Jesus Christ is the gospel of Jesus Christ. Gospel means good news. But now, we talk about sometimes our day's not great. Our day's not good. Our day's not doing what we think we want it to do. Man, you can have good days and you can have great days, and you can even have not so good days or great days as a believer, but still have a blessed hope of Christ coming back for his bride. You can still have joy in your soul even though you're not happy. See, that's a complex thing a lot of people don't understand. You can be happy, and it's not necessarily because of joy. You can be happy because, you found a $20 bill, and in that moment it's like, yay, $20. And then when you start to realize again that that didn't satisfy you, joy has to be from something. And if joy of the Lord is not in there, you're not going to have necessarily a good, great, or even decent day. Joy comes from the Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Check out them guns at the gun show. Uh, they're not as loaded as they used to be, I'll tell you that. So hearing the good news is key to having joy in our heart. And when we have joy in our heart, we can stop and begin to think again on the things of the Lord, and our day can automatically get better, right? Do y'all know what this guy right here, you know what his last name means? And it's very funny to me because he's like 5 foot, they say 5'6" on the roster, but I think he's 5'4" with 2-inch cleats. This guy, Altuve, I think his name literally means higher, like a higher elevation. And he's somebody that lives up to his name. He seems to bring up everybody around him up higher. He enjoys the sport he plays. He does his job with excellence. He really gets involved. People get their first hit in the MLB just the other night off of Justin Verlander. A guy got his first hit ever. Justin Verlander's legendary pitcher. He's in the top 10, 5, 7, I don't know. He's one of the greatest pitchers of all time, though. Multiple no-hitters. He's got 2 World Series rings, both with my team, the Houston Astros. But this kid, rookie season, actually just got called up late in the year, got his first hit off of Verlander. Jose Altuve plays second base for the Astros, and you could see him mouthing, and they actually replayed this on the highlight reel. He looks at the kid and he goes, "Do you know you just got your first hit off of Justin Verlander?" It was like how does that feel? I mean, this is huge. It's an indication that Jose Altuve enjoys the sport so much. He's telling somebody that's his opponent, "Hey, that was a good job. You did something that's no slouch, man. That's a good thing." I don't know the exact words he used. Something along the lines of, "Hey, you just got your first hit off of Justin Verlander." Altuve plays for the Astros. His name means higher. He does things that are higher. He does things that are way bigger than his stature, right? He does things that shouldn't happen. But attitude is a huge part of it. Training, yeah, that's a huge part of it. And when you've got the tenacity, the dedication that Jose Altuve has, yeah, you're going to have not just decent days, you're going to have good days, and you're going to have great days. Today's a great day in multiple ways. Number one, paramount to that, is Jesus Christ lives in my heart. Listen, you may not have had that experience. You may be watching these, you may have heard some of the music, you may somehow got here, I don't know, a friend shared it, I don't know. But if you want to have great days even when things are not going so great, I challenge you to ask God to show himself real to you. Say, dear Jesus, if you're real, show yourself to me. You know, my pastor basically did that, and that's how he was saved back in the 80s. Uh, been preaching now for, well, not too long after that time frame. He's been at our church for 20 plus years now. But it was something simple like that. It wasn't necessarily, you know, at a setting that you would expect. It was him one on one saying, God, if you're real, show yourself to me. God, if you're real, I want to know everything you have for me. I want to know. I want to understand. I challenge you. Hey, if you're not having a great day very much in your life, I'm going to tell you something. The other day, my wife and I, we were driving back from visiting some relatives over in Edna. Edna, Texas is about 82 miles from Lake Jackson, Texas, where we live right now. And we were there to celebrate a birthday party and go see relatives at a big birthday party for our 5 year old niece. And a big, big, big birthday. You know, we tend to make birthdays of children, you know, kind of like bigger than we ever had them, maybe, or, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So it was a good visit, and we're over there, you know. And we own three vehicles. I own a 34, almost 35-year-old Ford Bronco that is currently incapacitated, immobilized. It needs a fuel pump. I know what to do. I know how to do it. Don't have the funds to do it. So it's sitting there. At the time, we also have a 20, right at 20-year-old, you could say 19, 20-year-old Toyota Prius. At the time, it was not running. I knew how to fix it, and I have since, when you hear this next part, I have since fixed it where it is running and driving without the red triangle of death. And no, I'm not in the Illuminati. I was making a triangle for, stop those rumors right now. It was just a triangle on the dash that basically says pull over, stop driving. I fixed the issue with that thanks to YouTube. I looked it up, and this guy was correct, and I opened it up, and it was exactly. Anyway, so that's two vehicles. Blessings, right? Well, not when they're not driving. You don't necessarily see that they're a blessing. By the way, the Bronco and the Prius, both no air conditioning. When you live in Texas or anywhere in the South for that matter, and especially when you have humidity like down by the coast, air conditioning is just about a necessity for any type of comfort. Of course, it could be, you might have seen my short video recently, it could be a lot worse. Could not have a car and be hot footing it, doing the 1 2 1 2. But, know what I mean? Know what I mean? Uh, yeah. So that's two vehicles. Well, we're riding back from Edna that day, this past weekend on Saturday, and we get a little bit more than halfway home. I'd say we're about 30 minutes, 35 minutes away in a little town, little bitty town. I don't think there's any commerce, any business. There's no convenience store. There's a four-way stop. Little bitty community, you could say, called Cedar Lane. If you know much about that, it's between Bay City, Texas, and Lake Jackson, Texas, or basically between Bay City and Brazoria, Texas, and it's a fur piece from here, especially if while you're driving at 60 miles an hour, your 25-year-old 2000 F-150 decides, hey, I'm a 5.4 liter V8 engine with two valves. I just happen to be made with only three threads to hold in the spark plugs, and I'm going to spit one right out of the engine while you're driving me at 60 miles an hour. Yeah, that was loud. That was loud. I thought I hit something. Pow, pop, 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 pop. I thought something was under the wheel and it was going, or we had a blowout, and I was like, well, the steering's okay. I stuck my head out the window like Ace Ventura, you know, looking out there trying to see what's going on with the tire. Tire's fine. Pulled over to the side and realized that noise is not stopping. It's just slowing down because of the RPMs of the engine. Pop, 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 pop. Sounded like a jalopy. Sounded like an old lawnmower. Anyway, let me wrap this up. We got home. The Lord allowed us to get home. It did fine. It got all the way here to the area where we park. Put it in reverse to pull back into the parking spot because I'm going to have to get under the engine, and figure out what's going on at the time. And the truck dies. Blech. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. I want to tell you something. We pushed the truck back about 20 feet, got it into the parking spot, came in. I was so tense. I had been tense because driving it, you didn't know, was the engine fixing to catastrophically explode? What's going on? I didn't really know what had happened at the time. Did some research and found out that that happens quite often. Happens quite often with those engines. It was kind of their flaw from 1997 through about 2003. Um, Long story short on that, I began to get this sense of just giddiness, like excitement, like anticipation, like I understood, wait a minute, my God shall supply all of your need according to his riches in glory by Christ Jesus. Woo-wee. I started saying, Lord, I love you. I I am the called. I All things work together for the good for those who are the called according to his purpose. I started getting anticipation. My God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that I could ask, think, or imagine. I start hearing in my spirit, I got you. You pay your tithe. You honor the Lord with your first fruits. You worship me. You lift me up. You praise me. You tell other people about me. I will take care of you. I started to hear that in my spirit. I started to get giddy. My wife was like looking at me. And I told people about it yesterday at church. I was like, I got excited when that started to happen. And I had actually shared that on Sunday too. I said it was crazy. But why did that day that could have been just misery and a feeling of terrible, because now we're home, yeah, we're home, good, but the next day my wife's got to go to work, no car, no functional car. Thankfully, and I'm grateful for this also, pastor says, hey, use the church van if you need to. The other thing is, like I told you, I was able to look up the video. God gave me a brain where I can follow instructions, and I fixed the Prius where it drives. Still no AC. Oh, the funny thing about the no AC, that 25-year-old truck that we're driving has the best AC. Oh man, it'll freeze you out. You're in Texas. It's still 91 degrees outside plus humidity, and you have to turn it off of high to keep from getting icicles. Forming. It's an expression. There are no icicles in there. I'm totally sorry about that. There are no icicles. Don't mean to mislead you. But it becomes a great day because what I've put inside before that thing happened. Listen, when you start to have testings, you have to count it all joy. Those testings of your patience, they work character. They build your faith. They teach us how to persevere. See, I know the Lord's taken care of me before. I know that I've actually given vehicles to someone before. A vehicle that I loved, a vehicle that I wanted to keep. I'm not saying this to brag, but listen. The Lord reminded me of that on Saturday when that truck went, spit that sparkulator, spit that spark plug. And to kind of mimic somebody that I watch on YouTube quite a bit. So what's a fella to do? Well, when right inside the Lord's Holy Spirit began to drop on me, I began to get this gratitude, this spiritual, just invigorating, yes! I had a great day on a day that could have been something. See, what the enemy meant for my destruction, God turned it about to become something that would bring him glory. Touchdown. Higher. Make your day great. Choose to make your day great. Your day might be already almost over. It's a great day. It's a great day. It's a great day. You can know Jesus Christ if you haven't ever asked him to come inside to fill you. You haven't ever looked at his word and prayed, Holy Spirit, help me understand what your word is saying. Let me absorb it. Listen, I challenge you. I plead with you. I implore you. I double dog dare you. Give Jesus a try. Let him do it for you. He will. He will. He'll do it for you. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all go out with this one, all right? It's a theme. Shadowcaster is a theme. Shadowcaster's a theme. Can you see the whole word? Shadow. It's a cross. Lost looking, wondering about like who already done, that are already gone. Erase my faults, redirected my destiny. Help me remember, my Lord, to be in the light as you are in the light. You Son of God, ever peace, hope, everlasting, saved, ungrateful child like me is all that you're asking. You accept the small act of believing as payment in full because you already paid it all. So cast my shadow on every single wall in every way. Jesus, I give you praise. Goes to the light. DJ Marty D. Hey, love y'all. See y'all. Have a great day. Have a great day. Have a great day.